Hey, welcome back, Big Orange fans. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to get into the previewing a little bit of what we're going to look for in this fall camp for the defensive side of the ball. Uh, we're actually shooting a couple of episodes today, but we'll release them later in the week.
Right.
And these will be the last two episodes that we shoot that will still be prior to our giveaway of our plaque for your home for one lucky winner. You can hang it on the wall. There's a thing on the back to hang it. You put it up above your door so you can give it a big slap as you come in the door. Or it's got a little stand with it. You can put it on your table, desk, whatever it may be. But it's a nice looking little thing, and we'll be giving it away to one lucky winner. All you have to do is subscribe, hit that notification bell, and definitely leave a comment, because that's how we'll be getting back in touch with you. And be aware that we'll be trying to get back in touch with you. Be looking for it because we had a little difficulty last time getting a hold of our winner. Let's see, Bob, I see you're playing around with our newest little toy that we've got for the show. Really like it. And if you guys like something like that too, we'll leave a link in the description to the Vol fan down in Knoxville that does these right here. He does different sizes as well as different designs. He's got a lot of nice stuff. Be good for your man cave, or for that matter, put it in your bedroom. I mean, I'm sure the wife would love to walk into that every night.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you live out of state, put it on the front of your house so you can let those Bama fans, Georgia fans know that you got a real quality person in the neighborhood.
Right.
But, that said, Bob, let's jump onto the defensive side today. What are we looking for in fall practice? Both personnel-wise, maybe some additions to this coaching staff that I think is important.
Right. Well, first of all, Tim, I think we had I don't want to rehash last year a whole lot, but man, we had a heck of a defense last year. My opinion, top 5 off some certain stats out there, probably in the country. Just a great defensive team last year, and I don't want to sell it short. That's one reason why.
It's funny, though, when Hopper got here, how many people, he'll never have a good defense with that offense.
Yeah. That was true, man.
Heard it all the
A lot of
time.
national guys were saying that.
A lot of local guys were saying that.
That's true. And we believed it was going to be very difficult to have one from a yards per game type situation.
But yards per play, we thought we could be
elite.
elite.
And that's what you're looking for. Yards per play or points per play. It's actually probably the best metric out there for you. But we was great last year. And honestly, I don't see a big drop off, man. Especially if we were decent on the injuries. We lost some guys on the defensive line, but I still think we'll have a very good defensive line.
But we will, Bob. Let's look at some of those guys we got coming in. Who needs to step up in fall practice? Which one of these guys, in your mind, what are you looking for?
And one thing I think that's good about having depth, you got plenty of options there.
We do. A lot of guys have experience.
I think I'm looking for Damon Hobbs, former 5-star guy who has shown flashes, but I think it's time for him to take that step.
And I'm not even sure that he has to necessarily start to take that step.
No, but that's what I want. I want the guy to be, I think and you got Bryce Neeson, which is a guy who's been there forever, stable guy.
Well, not just stable. I think he gives you a twitch first step for
I agree.
For your defensive tackle, that's unusual.
Unusual, yeah, I agree. But I've seen where he gained just a little bit more weight too in the off season. But Hobbs, I look for him to be big, but I don't know if he's the primarily guy. I think if you're looking for a playmaker, it may be Joshua Joseph. You need that edge rusher, which you lose James Pierce, but honestly, I don't see there's going to be a big drop off there at that position.
Well, Joseph led us in TFLs last year, but he did not finish at the quarterback too often.
Yeah.
So, he does have to take another step. He's got more growth in his game to get to.
Yeah.
And if he don't, one thing about it, we have recruited Leos as about as well as anybody in the country.
Right.
You've got Herring behind
Mhm.
him,
Ross.
Jordan Ross, who I think everyone on the team, on the staff, looking at this guy as an NFL
That guy. Yeah.
top guy without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I think we got some freshmen coming in that might help in that room, but I think primarily those are your Leos anyway.
Hmm.
That I'm going to be looking for. A guy on the other side though, Bob, I want to see what Tyrone Weathersby does this year.
Tyree.
Tyree Weathersby,
Yeah.
yes. Um, as a freshman, he turned a lot of heads, and then he had a hip issue.
Yeah.
That
Never
he,
got a
yeah,
back.
he was back last year, but he was not back last
Yeah.
year.
Right.
Getting a lot more. The talk is that hip's much closer to 100% now than what it was.
Right.
And that's just the front line. I mean, we could name another 5, 6 players off in that front
Yeah,
line.
you got Don Bailey, who he got a lot of snaps. He's back. Jackson Moy. Um, you know, there's several guys that's got reps there, and
Tyree West
yeah, Tyree West, who another guy who I think has room to take a jump.
play on Sundays, I believe.
I think so. I think he's got that ability. Um,
A couple of stud freshmen, I believe, that's going to play some this year at defensive tackle
Mhm.
spots.
Marion Dye, but not more of a strong side defensive end. But Isaiah Campbell, Ethan Utley.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be all
Still,
fine.
yeah, we're still going to play about a dozen guys on that defensive line.
I think that in general the defensive line went from being whatever rating you want
Let's
to
say,
say,
give it a solid A.
a solid A. Yeah, I'd say that to an A minus.
Yeah.
That's where I view that. The next group back, though, I think, I've disagreed with some people about this. Y'all are more than welcome to give your viewpoint on this. I think the linebackers will be better next year. Uh, and I think for a couple reasons. One, T-Lander back, Aaron Carter back, uh, Edwin Spillman, who I think will be a starter for this year. I think he will take T-Lander's spot, if I had to guess. Uh, I think he'll end up being one of the most talented linebackers we've had down there in a while. And Carter's right there with him, man. I think I could see Carter taking a big jump.
Carter athletically can play with anybody. Um, but he was thrown into the fire before he was ready.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed to play better with Peely last year before Peely got hurt. And I thought after Peely left and that veteran was gone and he had to kind of try to make everything happen, he couldn't really turn it on quite yet. Another half year in the system, being the man
Mm-hmm.
now. Uh, Nowhere to go but for him. I don't, and I've seen people think that we're taking a step back, and I don't see it because Peely was already gone for half the year, and we lost a couple of backups that seemed like most people was complaining about half the time anyway.
Right.
Um,
The talent level, even though it's very young, is very good. Very good.
yeah, I love our 2 freshman linebackers that were out in the spring.
Harmon and Perlotti. And you had Jordan Burns from last year.
Yeah.
Was hurt.
Hurt.
They really high on him.
Yeah, those 3 guys who don't know how much they'll play this year, but dude, I think the ability among those 3 guys are they're 3 linebackers we would have been really, really happy to have 4, 5, 8 years ago.
Yes.
Being among the best on the squad.
Right. So yeah, I'm happy with that position. I think it'll take a step forward.
Yeah. In fall practice though, I'm with you, Edwin Spillman, who I'm keeping my eye on, Bob.
Yes. Let's go to the next step, Tim. And there's one if with here. I'm going to look at the corners and the nickel position together. And if McCoy comes back and doesn't miss, he's at the beginning of the season, right at the beginning of the season, and didn't take a step back, I'm going to say,
or at least significant step back, maybe a small step,
right, maybe a small step. I really think this corner nickel group may be the best group we've had down there in a very, very long time. Ricky Gibson, high quality corner. I think he is in the, and I hate these comparisons because people get upset when you make comparisons, but I think he's in that Cam Sutton type category type guy. I think McCoy is better than Cam Sutton. I think he is. I've seen some list him as the #1 corner going in the NFL draft next year. Um, and then Boo Carter, who I foresee having a big jump from last year at that nickel spot. I mean, the guy's a playmaker, and I think you're going to see that a lot more this year.
Yeah, if you had asked me pick somebody that might take the biggest jump on the team
He may be.
last year, he probably would be my pick on the entire team.
We done our offensive one, and I have Lance Hurd as the guy that had the biggest jump. On defense, Boo Carter's is the guy with the biggest jump.
I think that Spillman's probably my second, but
yeah, I mean that's a tough one between those two.
it is. Bobby Boo Carter at that star spot is going to take a huge jump. And honestly, you said that's going to be the best kind of like trio we've had down there in a while. Honestly, I put that trio up against about anybody in the country.
I agree. Yeah, I mean I think we're that good at that spot. And I've always thought, Tim, if you're going to be great on defense, you need to be able to stop the run, rush the passer, play good man type, good coverage at the cornerback position. There's so many Alabama defenses that we hated. They would play good coverage, tight coverage, and they would come after you, and it was just hard to do anything with.
Mm-hmm.
Only really weakness of this defense to me is the safety spot. You've got a returning starter, Andre Turrentine back. And who is that other starter? Is it Edris Farouk? Is it Caleb Beasley? It's probably one of those three, probably. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. I know we got Colton Hood coming in, but here in the fall practice, I think, he'll definitely just be at the corner position.
Yeah. He's probably your starter game one instead of McCoy, probably.
Yeah. And we've got some other players we can move around. But yes, that's your three. Two of the guys out of those three will start. And as the year goes on, one guy who I wouldn't, let's say Beasley, is the odd man out.
Mm-hmm.
5 games in, could he be put one of them on the bench?
Possible.
Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
High hopes. I think this kind of leads on to my next thing is additions on the coaching staff. And one of those additions was a defensive back, Coach Williams.
Alan Williams.
Alan Williams, who had played or coached in NFL, been defensive coordinator. I don't know multiple places. I don't know how long he'll be on the UT staff, but he's really taken over the safeties this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe once he got there and he looked at the safety room, he also kind of looked around and said, I want this kid over in my room, but I got to have me a player.
Right.
And because, we had depth issues at that time at corner.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't grab somebody, I think, that has that upside out of the room that needed them to pull them over there. But he's like, if I'm going to have to go down with the ship, I want somebody I can paddle with,
Yeah.
And Beasley is that guy.
Yeah.
And
he's not want to take over a position, even though he's just an analyst. He's wanting to get back to the NFL, I believe. Okay. He don't want to have a position that's struggling.
Struggles.
So I think that's another reason why he wanted Beasley. He wanted somebody he said, I took this guy from corner, made him a player.
Yeah. One of the things I'm looking for in spring, fall practice here, Bob, is some coaching additions that we did on the defensive side of the ball. Another guy, Bob, any Tennessee fan ought to remember the name Marion Hobby.
Oh, yeah. He's a great addition to the staff. And just another reason why we think this defense will be just as good. Okay, that's the question, Tim. Okay, yes, Hobby's here. Yes, that's a very good coach and recruiter that we've added to this staff. But where do you put this I don't think we've talked about this. Where do you think this defense is going to be at compared to last year?
I
Any
don't.
thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of drop off, if any. Um, my mind kind of tells me that we'll take a small step back, but I've just got a feeling that I mean, we've got Coach Garner
Mm-hmm.
that's been doing this a long time. We brought in Coach Hobby, who's been doing it a long time at a very high level, multiple NFL teams,
Right.
multiple college teams, former defense coordinator over at Clemson.
Yeah.
Uh, between these two, I won't quite call them legendary because I don't think Hobby's quite got to that far yet.
Right.
But I mean, two outstanding coaches is going to any drop off we had on the defensive line and personnel. I believe with the addition of Hobby, it's going to almost even that out.
Yeah, I view Tim. I think, and this is a big question mark for me every year. Uh, Something that very few people talk about usually. But injuries, I think, is the key to our defense this year. I feel really good about our top 2 or 3 linebackers. I feel really good about our defensive tackles and defensive ends. Do we have an injury bug that hits multiple spots? We lose guys early in the year. Uh, that can make a difference.
It can. I
We're a
think we
little
can
thinner
weather.
in certain spots than I'd like.
Yeah, but I think we can weather it on in the front side of the defense, though, for the most part.
For the most part.
Now, defensive back, well, obviously we've already got one big injury uh, that hopefully will be back.
Right.
But yeah, it can get iffy if we had a couple more in that group.
Yeah, I mean, if we're solid on defense and don't have a lot of injuries, I love our starting unit. I think we'll be very good and potentially better than last year. I really do. And luckily we get Georgia early on in the year, so hopefully McCoy is back to as close to 100% as he's going to get, and the rest of that defense is healthy at that point in the season, and maybe we can pull the upset.
Quickly, Bob, let's talk about our special teams a little
Yeah.
bit. What we're hunting for. Obviously, pretty much everybody's back. Kickoff guy, punter's back, kicker's back. Uh, you want a year in improvement there.
Yeah.
Boo Carter's back at the punt return. We're not exactly sure who will be back at the kickoff return.
Right.
I think we took a step back last year in our coverage units.
I agree.
So the question is, what I'm looking for this year in spring and fall practice here is, are we going to hear anything about? We're not going to hear anything about coverage units. Okay, we won't do that until the first game.
Right.
But that's what I'm kind of interested in.
Yeah, I'm curious to that too. And I think Jackson Ross can make a slight improvement from last year. He was a weapon for us, pinning people inside the 5. He had a few shanks year before, and then just a little bit last year. I think he will become more consistent.
Yeah, because he did improve on that.
He did.
From first year to second year, and I think we'll see another improvement on the third year.
Yeah, I think very possible he could be an All-American this year.
And Bob, go ahead and tell me now. Are we going to run a fake punt this year?
Yes. I've been looking for it with Jackson Ross. The guy supposedly has a very strong arm.
He'll tell you he's the best passer on the team.
Runs somewhere around a 4.5 40. So
yeah, and got size.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's hell. If I was coach, maybe already fired, but I would have done run 2 trick plays with him so far.
Well, here's another thing, Bob. Talk about coaching. Our special team coordinator gone now. Obviously, Coach Heupel has the final say when you pull something like that.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Yeah. You don't pull we're inside the 30 and we're gonna do a fake punt on 3rd and 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah. But that said, though, we do have a young guy now who's taking that spot over officially, and then we've got a NFL guy who was a known special teams guru in the NFL that's back there this year. So, that's could be another one of those coaching changes, additions that pay off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very possible. Yeah, I agree.
I'm
Good
I'm,
hire.
I'm really interested in how these additional coaching staff hires that we've made this year might impact this year's team.
Right. I agree too. Yeah.
Bob, that said, I believe we're just to the point telling you guys again, thank you so much for stopping around, hanging out
Oh,
with
yeah.
us for a few minutes.
I hope you enjoy. I hope you learned something and you enjoy these type videos.
Yeah,
Let us know what you think. I mean, I enjoy doing them, so I hope you enjoy them.
yeah, and don't forget to leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button, get in the contest to grab this right here. Uh, it's almost time to pick a winner and everything, and I wish each one of you guys good luck
Yep.
on that right there. And Bob, anything else?
Go Vols, all I got.
Go Big Orange. That's all that needs to be said.
All right.